going, baby? How you living? How you living?
I really like to take this challenge for myself, aside of just being a musician.
She had a swishy jacket and some thing on her head.
Even it's really big for you.
Yeah, it's like the size of me.
Don't worry, I won't say anything stupid. I hope. It's just like a crazy metal band, like shooting everything up.
My advice is forget the movies and look for a good job. No.
My daughter is going to sleep, so I needed to say goodnight to her.
I don't want terrible things to always be happening to me and my children.
I think I was more nervous when the movie was premiering and coming out, because then I realized that people actually had to see it.
Nice to escape the studio. We have the beautiful, sunny, not sunny English countryside behind us.
This country and this world can do a whole lot better.
Wow, what a presentation.
Right, like I want people to know that you didn't just show up now.
That's where the idea of the pancake came from.
But you're the only person ever who has ever asked me that question, ever.
Oh, wow.
I'm so blessed. I always wanted to do music since I was a little girl. Since I was 3 years old, I wanted to become a musician and sing. And I had my first band. First band was called Snakebite. It was 1980, and then Beast, then Attack, then Warlock. And it was in 1982, 83. We all got together, and I guess we were at the right time, in the right place. It was so awesome. Everything happened.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts, based here in Seattle, Washington, in the United States of America. And thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday, the 19th of August, 2021. My guest today has been flying the flag of heavy metal for decades. She has become synonymous with the much beloved genre of music around the world. Her new album, Triumph and Agony Live, will be released on September 24th. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts virtual studio, the one and only Doro.
Thank you so much for having me. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time. I really, really appreciate you coming on and talking with me today.
Yeah, it's great. And we feel great. We just played our first festival in Belgium. It was the Alcatraz Festival, and it was the first real normal festival. And man, we had so much fun, and it was awesome.
I was just going to ask you, what was that feeling like of finally being back on a stage in front of a live audience? That's got to be just tremendous.
We played some festivals before, but they were like a little bit different. You know, there were beach chair open airs where everybody was sitting in the beach chair, but you could drink and, and dance around and headbang and sing along. But it was so much work to reach people because they were so far away. So we were all in good shape. It was, so it was cake. Doing this festival in Belgium, we were all rehearsed, and, the body was in good shape. The pipes were good. So it was awesome. And yeah, it was the first normal festival in 1.5 years, but we have always done some live things, and, and it was always good to keep at it and not take a break from the live thing at all. So, but it was different and sometimes really hard work, but I think we got everybody on fire and excited. I think all the fans, they were happy.
Yeah, I'm excited just hearing about it.
Yeah, actually. And it's sometimes good to try out something new, If there's nothing you can do, then, do your best with what you have. And we had a couple of chances to play, different shows, but I loved it. And, and the more we did it, the more you kind of feel out what works and what you can do. But, but definitely every muscle in my body was like, wow. One night after the first beach chair shows, man, I couldn't even get out of bed because the whole body was like in shock. It was like, working out, after a long time of not working out. And I blew out my voice immediately, which I would never do. But then after many more shows like that, and I thought, and we're all ready. So, and we're ready at all times, when it starts to open up again, which we're hoping for, of course.
Yes, very much so. Hoping for that. Well, I got to tell you, this is such a tremendous honor for me to talk with you. I mean, I've been a fan for so many years, and I mean, I go all the way back to seeing shows back in the late 70s. So I'm one of those guys and been a metalhead all my life. And for people out there that are watching this now or watching this now, I am having some audio issues. So if you hear some clicking around, it's not your device, it's mine or something. So we were trying to fix it before we went live, but we're just doing the best we can. But Doro, let's talk about the new live album that's coming out, Triumph and Agony Live. When was it recorded? What can you tell all the fans about it?
Yeah, actually, the Triumph and Agony album was recorded in '87, the original, and we had some records out before. Burning the Witches was the first one, Hellbound, True Steel, and on the True Steel album I did a little promotion tour in America, in New York for 3 days, and then after 2 days I made up my mind I want to stay. I totally fell in love with the States. It was so great, and I don't know if it was an accident or if I was lucky, but I got connected with great people. And the guy who produced Triumph and Agony, his name was Joey Bannon. And he knew another guy, my guitar player, Tommy Bolan. And we did this Triumph and Agony album in New York City, in the Power Station studio, and in Philadelphia, in the Cajun studios. And I could tell this album would be it. It had so much magic. I felt so good and so free to do whatever I felt. And there was no pressure, which, on the third album, True Steel, there was a lot of pressure. The record company said, it needs to be a big seller. It needs to sound more commercial. And I was like, oh no, for a metal band, that word commercial, that's not a good word. So in New York on the Triumph and Agony, I could do whatever I wanted. And I felt so supported. And great musicians played on it as well. For example, the legendary Cozy Powell, wow, so much power, and it's such great energy. So we did this album, and I always wanted to celebrate the Triumph and Agony album, and we started doing it a few years ago. We did a tour in America, in Spain, played many festivals, the Norway Rock and Grass Pop and Sweden Rock Festival, and Sweden Rock. That was the first time we ever did it. We ever played Triumph and Agony in its entirety, and it was the most magical show. And then we thought, okay, let's do a CD, and a Blu-ray will be with it. And there's a nice documentary, like with even bootleg snippets and really cool stuff from the 80s and the new stuff, and the Sweden Rock show in its entirety, and I think it came out great, sounds great, and and looks great, and it has many box sets, like all old school, like there's a figurine of the Warlock holding me, and there's a big album cover, it's like life size, the Warlock holding me, and there's a vinyl record in the back, like marbled vinyl. And there's even a box set with a cassette. So all like, what reminds you on the 80s, like when metal was so big. And that was another part of the Triumph and Agony. Was '87, and we went on tour with the legendary Ronnie James Dio in '87 when Triumph and Agony came out in Europe, and in America it was Megadeth and Sanctuary. And I have just the best memories on these great times. And the video, All We Are, was our first video, and it got played, on Headbangers Ball and all that good stuff. So, and yeah, it was definitely, man, it was amazing. And yeah, so I'm really happy that we did Triumph and Agony live. I think it sounds even more powerful because of the fans and live, and I always can sing 10 times louder and more powerful when I see the fans and the crowd, and I think it came out great.
Well, that's awesome. You're totally bringing me back to those days, and I love hearing that there's a cassette and there's all these other things with it. And I want to welcome all the fans. You've got fans joining us from Argentina, the UK, Australia right now, from all over.
Yeah, metalheads. Wow, that's awesome.
All over the world. And I wanted to ask you, that you mentioned with this new release, there is a documentary which I showed a really small clip of before we went live.
Yeah, I saw that. Cool.
Yeah. How did they cram all of your experiences and things you've done into like a 90-minute documentary? How long is this thing?
Yeah, actually, it was because we only talked about the Triumph and Agony album and the making and the videos, the All We Are video, and the second video was Für Immer, which we shot in Louisiana, my first time in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and all that stuff. So we only talked about the Triumph and Agony album, and all the other 20 records we will talk about that another time, but it was only Triumph and Agony related. And then we crammed it in 90 minutes, and the Sweden Rock performance, I thought that looked so good, so I wanted to have that in its entirety as well. And the CD and the vinyl, that's a combination between a Sweden rock recording and Spain. But in Spain, we played clubs. And then I thought, to mix it up, that's maybe not so good. So Sweden rock was like, was this a great stage, open air, 40,000 people, going crazy. So yeah, so that's how we did it. And yeah.
That's awesome. And that makes perfect sense that you just stayed with Triumph and Agony, because I was thinking that documentary must be like 5 hours long or something, or even longer with your lengthy career. My goodness.
Yeah, and talking about all these, like, these really interesting things and adventures, and it always went up and down and up and down, and sometimes really unexpected things happened. And we have to do another documentary. Triumph and Agony is all like, it's exciting, and it showed some footage of 87, 88, and it's like, I think it's pretty cool. Like, the diehard fans will definitely like it. And yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to watch it. As I'm sure all the fans, I can't wait to watch it either. So, and I'm seeing some questions kind of coming in. So kind of in general, people are asking, are you going to, like, one came in about, are you going to be touring the UK? Are you going to be touring some other places? Is it too early to tell, or what's kind of going on with tour plans?
Yeah, actually, we're planning to tour for the rest of the year. Actually, we have a UK tour coming up with Michael Schenker in October, and a festival in Sheffield, that's in September. And then we play all over Europe in November. Hopefully will take place. It's France and Poland and Germany and Austria. And then we play the Wacken Festival. It's called Bullhead City. And it's a little smaller version of Wacken. Usually Wacken holds like 80,000 fans. And now it's like 25,000. And there we play in September, 16th of September. I hope it will take place. Because here in Europe, man, numbers are going up, and we definitely keep our fingers crossed. And then next year we want to tour the States again, and Canada and South America. So we're hoping for the best. And last year we thought everything will be okay this year, but then when we found out we couldn't tour, couldn't play shows and festivals, that's the reason when I thought, okay, I go back into the studio and do something useful and start working on a Triumph and Agony live, and then that kept my spirit up high. I didn't have any time to get depressed, and and I thought, but we're dying to play live all over the world, of course.
Yeah, and I'm there with you that I hope that things continue to get better, because we're kind of looking at the same thing here in the U.S. about the numbers are getting kind of iffy in some places. So
I was always in New York, and then I moved to Florida, and oh God, Florida is like, it's crazy right now, but oh man, we hope for the best. And crazy times, all over the world, and
Yeah, for sure. And I know one thing, again, as all the fans know, I mean, you've been involved with so many different musicians and artists over all of these decades. I mean, I can't think of probably a band that you haven't had something, you were on stage with, or did a festival with, or in the studio with, or did a duet with. But is there anybody that you would like to collaborate with that you haven't done anything with so far?
It's not possible anymore. I would have loved to do something with Ronnie James Dio. We did two great tours, one in 87 in Europe after we released Triumph and Agony, and then we did another tour in 2000 with Yngwie Malmsteen, and it was so great because it was the time when grunge was big, and it was just like going out a little bit, and metal came back a little bit. There was 2000, and that was my favorite tour, and we sang together the encores on stage, like Ronnie always got me on stage singing the last 3 songs, and it was mainly in Florida the last couple of shows, and we were talking about doing something together. So I would have loved to do something with Ronnie, like a nice duet, and that would be on my wish list, but that's not possible anymore. And I would love to do something with David Coverdale and James Hetfield, Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson, Blackie Lawless. There's definitely some people I would love to do something. but I have done so many things which I thought was so wow, like my first duet was with Lemmy, actually 2 duets with Lemmy, and the last duet was It Still Hurts, was on our Raise Your Fist album. And and then we did something with Pete Steele, and all these great guys, and Udo Dirkschneider, and some girls as well, Taya Turunen, who was the ex-singer of Nightwish, and I did something with the newer singer of Nightwish, Flora Jansen, and we did so much stuff, so many. I always feel it's great when you have people coming in. Usually that's always the highlight on each record. The last duet I did with Johan Heck of Amon Amarth, and that was awesome. I'm a big Amon Amarth fan, and I hope I can do many more records and surprise the fans with many more collaborations and stuff. And there's so many great people out there, so
Yeah, I mean, again, you just rattled off so many legends of the genre that it's just so amazing the amount of people that if you made like a diagram but put Doro in the middle, like who you've been connected with over the years in some capacity, it'd be like everybody. It'd be a who's who of metal and rock.
I tell you, it was always like a dream come true. And when I was growing up, I was a big Kiss fan. And then I had the chance, one time Gene Simmons produced one of our records. That was, oh man, it was so great. And he was so nice to me. And a few years ago, we played on a festival. He was headliner with his Gene Simmons band. And then he asked me, hey, shall we do a song together? We did War Machine together. That was in the Czech Republic, the Masters of Rock Festival. Oh, it was so awesome. And I met Gene a few times, and we're still friends, and that's so awesome. And I'm still friends with all the bands we ever toured with, like, the guys in Saxon or Priest. And it's so awesome to, we all love metal and love the fans, and it's so great when people feel the same, and but I'm really lucky, man, I tell you. I'm a lucky one.
And speaking of Gene Simmons and Kiss, there was a question that came in earlier about were you a part of the Kiss Army way back when, and if so, can you
Okay. Of course I was. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And when I was a little kid in school, we have here something, it's called Carnival. It's something like between Halloween, you dress up. And I always had like, my Kiss makeup on, when I was like 9 years old. And all the kids in my school, they said, are you crazy? What's that? And I was like, that's Kiss, man. That's the biggest band in the world, don't you know? But nobody knew about that. They all wanted to have whatever pop music and stuff. But I was always a metalhead. And and then when I was 15, 16 years old, I formed my first band. Or actually, I joined the first band. There was Snakebite, and then we had other bands, Beast, Attack, and then Warlock. We formed the band in 82. And that was when heavy metal became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we could tour with everybody, Dio and Wasp and Priest, and we played with Metallica, the first festivals in Europe, and it was unbelievable. And these memories I always cherish, and and I think everything was leading up to eventually doing the Triumph and Agony album, and and doing something in America, which always was my dream. And you first had to prove yourself in England. England, they were like making the decisions if you could go all over the world, if the record would be released, in the United States. So we had one festival, which was a door opener. It was in 1986, the Monsters of Rock Festival in Castle Donington, England. And then, the journalists and agencies and record companies, everybody said, it was pretty good. They, the fans liked the band. So that was the first time that I could go to America, and then, take it from there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could talk to you for hours. But
it's so good to talk about the great old times and new times, but I think the Triumph and Agony, I love it so much. I think it's totally timeless. All the songs, it feels to me we wrote them yesterday, even though it's a while ago. But I'm really proud of it. I can't wait till the fans will hear it and see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you've got a lot of other press today, so I want to keep you on schedule. What would be the thing that you would like to let all the fans out there know, straight from you to them?
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys live again. You know, live is what I think I do best, and I enjoy it the most. And I can't wait to see you guys headbanging in the first row, singing along. I love you. I hope you guys all stay happy, stay metal, stay healthy, and all the very best. And big metal hugs and big kisses, and and stay true as steel. And we are all for metal für immer. That means forever.
Awesome. Doro, thank you so much for taking the time. And again, if I have a chance somewhere down the road to reconnect with you, I would love to, to talk to you about everything. But again, I know you've got things to stay on schedule with. So thank you so much. Stay safe over there. Stay metal for sure. And take very good care.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for having me. It was great. I had a blast. It was a pleasure. And talk with you very soon. And and take care too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Ciao.